hybrid diplomacy.
Uh-huh.
This was the MOU was never an MOU,
Right.
and the Iranians never viewed it as such. The Iranians basically said, "We know the United States is going to violate this." The United States never was in compliance with the MOU ever. Um, understand, I forget what article it was, but you're not allowed to threaten the use of force. Day one, Donald Trump, we're going to blow you into hell if you don't do what we want you to do. The MOU was always fatally flawed. 60 days of, we're all going to agree to a ceasefire, but in 60 days, the Iranians have to basically concede everything that we couldn't get up front. The Ukrainians were never going to concede on any of these issues, zero. And not the Ukrainians, the Iranians. And they knew this. The Iranians knew this. But the Iranians went along with this. Why? So they could sell 60 million barrels of oil. And they did. Um, and they got it to market and they made money. And the United States did this as well, kept it going, even though we had no intention. Remember J.D. Vance? The MOU, nah, we're just buying time to get some oil in the, you know, recharge our tanks, and then we're going to do it. So it was always a lie. And this is the permanent state that we're in right now. Neither side is going to fully commit to war. The United States and because if the Iranians actually did what they promised to do, they'd be blowing the crap out of everybody right now. One violation, we're coming in hard. But instead, they do this tit for tat, and then they both stop. Some ships go through, some oil gets sold, and then they do the thing. Now, this is the permanent state right now, that this is the way it's going to be. Um, until one side, and the United States has got nothing. What do we have? What do we have? We don't have the ability to launch another 39-day war against Iran. We don't have the ammunition at all. The Iranians, on the other hand, can not only fire missiles, but they can shut down both the Strait of Hormuz. Just shut down tonight. It's gone. You do know that, right? The Oman, the little secret corridor the United States tried to cut, it doesn't work anymore. It's been mined. Nothing's going through there. So if you want to go through the Strait of Hormuz, you have to go through the Iranians and pay the Iranian price, and they'll let you go through if the United States doesn't sink you in the meantime. So what is the United States going to do? Put up another naval blockade? When they do that, the Bab el-Mandeb could be shut down. Then Saudi Arabia is going to be screaming bloody murder because they have no oil going to market. And that means nobody has oil going to market. And then the global economy is going to do what it was headed to, and Trump's going to have to yield again. And this is the cycle we're going to see. And both sides are going to play it. Iran's going to play it until which time they can solidify their diplomatic and economic base of support in the East. They're making that strategic pivot to the East. And once they could get that solidified, then the United States becomes irrelevant. And at some point in time, the Gulf Arab states are going to tell the United States, we can't sustain this model anymore. It's an unsustainable model. When Kuwait runs out of money, when Bahrain runs out of money, when Saudi Arabia runs out of money, and they'll run out of money because they can't sell oil. Right now, they have a temporary reprieve, hybrid diplomacy, fake diplomacy, you know, taking advantage of a moment. But it's unsustainable over time. And I do believe at some point in time, the Iranians are going to shut both the Strait and shut Bab el-Mandeb, and the United States will be compelled into modifying its stance. But the Iranians are never going to give Trump what he wants on nuclear. Never, never going to give him what he wants on nuclear, which is total abdication and surrender. And Trump is unable to accept anything less than that. So that issue alone is going to, unless they can find a way to punt that issue down the road, which might be the solution. Just stop talking about it. Say it's an indefinite problem. That could be a solution. Strait of Hormuz, Trump is going to have to accept the fact that Iran is in control. Iran will not yield on this issue. And then we're about to see the Bab el-Mandeb become a factor. The Houthi are fed up with the Saudis. Fed up with the Saudis. The Saudis tried to shoot down an airplane that was bringing in there was landing, and it was going to take a delegation to the funeral of Ali Khamenei, and the Houthi said, if you do this, Saudi Arabia is going to come under risk. And so now the Saudis have activated their Yemen, government allies, and there's a war going on. The Houthi may just get fed up and say we're shutting down the Bab el-Mandeb because that's their strategic card too. And there's nothing the United States can do about that. People need to understand we have zero military capacity of any meaningful. Okay. We can send ATACMS, we can send HIMARS, we can blow up a couple things. This is not war-winning stuff that we're doing. It's not. We
So-
did this for 39 days.